Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Marketing Automation Made Simple. This is your host Jovana from bumperleads.com, and I'm on a mission to help you guys simplify and automate your business. In particular, I want to make the landscape of marketing and automation super simple for businesses to understand and implement for their businesses. Today, I'm going to be taking you through what it takes to create marketing automation success. And in particular, I want to introduce you to the concepts that we go through with our clients, talking about how to implement the whole marketing automation solution. So I want to give you a bit of a background as to what is required, what the industry looks like. Actually, this was quite an interesting thing to find out. How does the industry look like? What are some of the barriers to success of creating an automation or simplifying, even considering to simplify your sales and marketing systems in your business, whether you are a marketing expert or a tech expert or a digital marketing expert or a business owner. There are so many hats we all have to wear. And to make a very successful automation solution for your business, we really need to factor in a few things. So before I start, there's a really good research that I've come across that talks about the industry trends and globally the marketing automation technology forecast. And this was actually run by Forster. What I've got a graph in front of me, and this Forster data have come up with the kind of the industry size, the size of the whole industry of marketing automation. And so they've done this research and projections from 2017 to 2023. And now we are in 2024. And back then they didn't know about the AI revolution. I'm sure AI has been in the pipeline. If you were in the tech space, you knew that the AI is something that was coming. However, this is the CRM solutions and global marketing solutions for automation technology going to market, obviously, and selling those solutions to the marketplace. And from 2017, they estimated that there was about 11.4 billions of US dollars is the whole, global marketing automation share. And that global marketing automation technology market consists of things that they have a lot of acronyms here, which I don't think I need to go through the acronyms, but some things that they were looking at is anything that is through channel marketing automation. Something called real-time interaction management, marketing resource management, lead to revenue management, cross-channel campaign management, and content marketing platform. Content marketing platform was actually quite small on the scheme of things. So in 2017, it's a very small market share compared to cross-channel campaign management, which is really these concepts of what we talk about, the omni-channel. The omni-channel, which is using one CRM or a marketing automation platform that can go and talk to different channels. So different channels, basically SEO is one channel, or having your website is one channel, social media is one channel. Then another, let's say, part of the social media is another downstream of that is Facebook. That's another channel. So there's a lot of different channels for many businesses to pick. So you need the software to bring it all together. Then going to 2023, we go from 11.4 billion to 25 billion. So the market share has really grown and the market keeps growing. So that's a good thing. We're in a growing trend, and it's been growing, I would say, by the looks of it, 30% every year, which is actually standard for any business. You know, if you're doing year-on-year growth, 30%, that's really good. And so that's a really good understanding of how these technologies that we are looking to engage with and apply in our business are working. Because one of the key things I like to look at when I'm looking at these platforms and the software that we need to pick is, I want to know how trusted they are and how long have they been in business and how often do they innovate. Because from 2023 to what's today, 2024, this market has changed rapidly and there's so many things happening. It's very hard to keep up with the changes. But what I think is happening now is that if you're someone who is non-techie, you'll find it a bit easier to piece it all together. However, there are so many options, so I understand we can get really, really confused. So then that leads me to another research that was done by another CRM consulting group. And this is something that is true that we find consulting with over 200 businesses so far globally. Is the question they were trying to understand is, what are the most significant barriers to marketing automation success? And the number one barrier, which they've interviewed thousands, I think it says 2,800 businesses, and they would be, I would say, enterprise businesses, anybody that's doing over 100 million turnover. And for them, they found that 58% of those businesses lack an effective strategy. So they don't have a strategy. 58% actually feel like they need a strategy, and that's stopping them from getting some kind of marketing automation success in their business. And this is something that we find is true for any type of business, whether that is small, medium, large, whether you're a startup. There's so many different problems people are going through. But when it comes to marketing automation, I find that people do lack strategy, and there have been some instances where software platforms are coming up with their own strategies to help you execute that. But if you're a long-time listener, you will listen to some of my previous episodes, the definition that I use for what is marketing automation. And marketing automation is us using technology to help us execute your marketing strategy. So that's where this implementation strategy is, this gap that exists between most businesses, where they're at, and where the CRM platforms think these businesses are at. And so there is a gap, this gap. And over the next few episodes, I'm going to share more specific things about what certain industries have been doing to apply some of these automation concepts. And that's something that we tend to do as part of our consulting. So that's number one, 58% have no effective strategy in place. Number two is the misalignment between marketing and sales, and that was about 42%. So this is definitely true. We find this to be relevant for any business, any size. So you could be up to $1 million or $1 million between 10 million in turnover. You will have a sales team. If you're under $1 million, you probably have yourself as a business owner, a freelancer, or somebody. You're probably wearing too many hats, but one of them will be a sales and a marketing hat. So you'll have two hats. But if you are a bigger business, you'll have departments, you'll have sales managers, you'll have marketing managers. And if you've ever worked for any big corporate business, you'll find that there is always misalignment. There's always arguments between what marketing does and what sales does. In particular, the key arguments are when marketing goes and implements their marketing strategy and they bring the leads into the business, these leads are what we call a marketing qualified lead, but they're not necessarily a sales qualified lead. So a marketing qualified lead is somebody who downloads a white paper, attends a webinar. They might come to a workshop or training. They might send an inquiry through a website. So that's a marketing qualified lead. Now, when your salespeople jump on the phone to talk to these guys, you'll find out that most leads are not created equal. and so oftentimes salespeople don't want to be on the phones dealing with a lot of wrong leads that may waste time for them. And so you'll often see marketing managers and sales managers meeting all the time and probably butting heads together because they're trying to align themselves in terms of what is a good lead for salespeople to close. And they always blame one another. Salespeople will often blame marketing for not closing or meeting the KPIs because the leads were not good enough for the business. So that's 42%. Okay, so that is very true. It's happening across every industry, every business. Number three is complexity of system. 42% equally believe that anything that is too complex, it gets too hard. And if we're talking about people who are using marketing automation, these are marketing managers, these are marketing departments, anyone that works in marketing. If you're a business owner, you're working across all of those streams. If you are in salespeople, they don't really want to touch technology as much. They don't want to remember to fill in any forms. They just want to be on the phone and talk to the prospect and close them. So the less friction, the better for the sales guys. So if there is a system in place, and this is very typical of many enterprise customers, they'll have systems like SAP, or Oracle, or NetSuite, or some other bigger technologies. And most of the time you do need complex systems because they're all integrated. They're like an integration solution for the whole business, and it's all driving finance as well and reporting. So you kind of have to have a complicated tool, but the whole goal is to simplify that. So if there is any areas we can simplify that, that is somewhere where you can hire a consultant to help you do that. And usually these platforms will have certified consultants that can help you. But for smaller businesses, I would say complexity of system is that I would say what we see often in dealing with a lot of businesses is they're often fall in love with a tool, and they'll try and fit their business around this tool. So if this tool is designed, and there's so many tools out there, when I say tool, it's a software app. There's so many platforms out there, platforms that can help different verticals. So there's some that are coming up and really specializing in the e-commerce space, and some that specialize in the creative design industry space, some that specialize in real estate. And so these guys are coming up because they are trying to simplify it for that industry. They're trying to do all the hard work of thinking about the sales, the systems, the processes, the marketing needs, and trying to bring it all into one solution for that business owner. Sometimes when a business owner wants to take on those tools, they might find themselves a bit overwhelmed because they're not probably at the right level to implement those tools or those platforms, I should say, in the business. So a lot of the time, they might be just fitting in a tool into their business rather than having that tool support their business. Another fourth point they found is that there is inadequate contact data quality. So that's about 40%. So that would be, a huge barrier to marketing automation success is if you have unqualified database, unengaged database. If you're buying and purchasing lists that haven't been nurtured, I would say, that would be unqualified. So I would say it's quality over quantity of databases. I would always have less people on the database who are highly engaged than having a large number of people on the database who hardly ever open an email, or they don't even pick up the phone when your sales team calls. And a few other things just to speed this up a bit. 31% believe that lack of relevant content was needed to help them succeed in marketing automation. About 28% thought lack of employee skills. 28% really think, and this is a good point because, again, if you're a small business owner, you're wearing so many hats, you have to also think about kind of a systems hat on. You have to be a system integrator as well as marketing and sales and business and ops. And then you have to kind of sit across all of those buckets in your business in order to make this automation work. And as I mentioned in my previous episodes, I always find it hard to look at automation in isolation of your whole business. And if you had a dedicated employee in-house that can focus on maintaining the system, because once you build it, I would say 90% of the time you don't have to touch or maintain anything. But if you are introducing new products, new services, new ways of doing things in your business, you do need to have somebody always constantly monitoring and making sure nothing's going to break. And as we find with technology, things can break. If you have a website, I'm sure, and you hire other experts like in SEO, there's always every month, there's an update, a Google update or something, and something breaks. So yes, you do need to have somebody look at your system on a regular basis. And only 18%, this is the last point, only 18% of businesses, and these are larger businesses, were actually concerned about the budget and said, it's actually the budget is stopping me from being successful at marketing automation. Because I think the value of marketing automation is something we could probably do another episode on to calculate the ROI, but essentially you have an extra resource in your business. If you had the whole system set up from start to finish in the correct manner, you might see yourself saving so much time. And you don't see that like immediately, but it can show up in, let's say, 3 months' time. You will start to notice how much freedom you have in your business. And you could then start thinking about, oh, maybe I should travel, maybe I should take a break. I think I could have 2 weeks off from my business and nothing's going to break. Those are the things that, we can think about when you successfully implement your marketing automation solution for your business. So just to recap what those barriers to success are: lack of an effective strategy, marketing and sales alignment, so there's misalignment between those two, complexity of system that you sign up to, inadequate contact data quality, lack of relevant content, lack of employee skills, and budget constraints. So over the next few episodes, I'm going to share with you how you can overcome that in your business and how you can be successful in setting it up. And I'm going to use the system that we call the Bumper Blueprint system, which I've created because it's something that is very simple to apply in any business. And it just gives us an easier way to get started and to maybe create a solution that will give you 80% of what you need. And then, gives you the foundation of what you need to do. It will help with segmentation. It will help with the type of messaging, the who you serve, the product market fit. Before we automate, we don't want to automate too much because, how much automation do we need? Some aspects we want to make sure that humans are still doing them. So I'm going to share that with you over the next few episodes. So the solution that we have, as I mentioned, is really the implementation strategy. So we still have to look at what is happening in your sales, your marketing, your ops. We need a solution that will help you bridge the gap between your own business needs and the technical implementation challenges that you might be experiencing. So I'll give you some ideas in the next few episodes around how some health practitioner, physio that we've helped and their particular needs. We'll talk about some e-com examples, coaches, advisors, and other consultants. So we've also worked with other marketing agencies and what we found works for them, and some bigger clients that we have also done similar work, but more complicated because now you have not just one person in charge. You might have 10 people in charge of one automation platform and one solution, so it can get very complicated. And we find that once the strategy work is done with any the technical implementation becomes easy for anybody to adopt. So you could implement it in-house with our guidance if you want, or you could essentially have that outsourced to any consultant and they'll be able to help you and even quote you less than what you probably would expect to be quoted for that. So once we have a strategy in place, things become super easy. All right, so I'm hoping this is all some new information that can help you think about your business and how you could effectively bridge the gap between signing up to a marketing automation platform and then executing the right strategy for your business. I want to let you know that you're not alone. There's so many businesses out there that are in a similar situation. Okay, that's it from me now. Until next time, I'll talk to you in the next episode.